Do you really need this much money to retire comfortably? Really? That's going to be the topic of today's video. Hello, I'm Jeff, the Retired Farmboy. I want to start off with here about how much the magic number is to retire, according to a couple of surveys. But I also want to ask you to stay towards the end here. I want to talk a little bit about what I call some realities about these numbers and have a little bit discussion points on that. So a study by Northwestern Mutual found that the magic dollar amount that Americans believe they need to retire comfortably is $1.46 million, the highest ever, as you might imagine. I can't believe it'd be any higher than that. That is a 15% increase from 2023 that was 1.27 million. It surged 53% since 2020 when it was $951,000. Gen Z and millennials think that they need $1.6 million to be able to retire comfortably. And for those with $1 million of investable assets already, they think that the figure is more towards $4 million to retire comfortably. Now, these numbers are way up there, let's just say that. And it's hard to think that that is a true reality that most people are thinking about when it comes to retirement. You know, there's some sad parts that goes along with this. Although Americans think that they need more money than ever to retire, fewer and fewer of them are adding to their retirement nest egg. The average amount that the U.S. adults have saved for retirement, believe it or not, is $88,400, which is down from $89,300 in 2023. So we're actually going backwards. So the current gap from what it is now, what the average retirement savings are compared to what people think that you need, is $1.337 million. Wow. The study also adds that the current inflation that we've been experiencing the last few years has eroded our purchasing power, and in some cases people are pulling money out of the retirement savings to get by. So those are really sad parts about what's going on. There's a separate study by the Alliance Life Insurance Company of North America, and they say that 42% of households reported dipping into their savings. So think about that, 42%. That's almost half of our people who are working towards retirement have dipped into their retirement savings. Since January of 2021, when inflation crisis began, prices as a whole are up 18.49%. So these numbers that I got from an article, and it's like, you get to thinking nobody's going to ever be able to retire based on those kind of savings numbers that you need. So unless you're ignoring the facts or you're living under a rock, it's evident to see that our economy is in terrible shape right now. It's really took a hit the last 2 or 3 years. Inflation has really killed us. So with our economy being in such a bad state, you can see why people are struggling to being able to add to their retirement savings. So some of the things that, thinking on the positive side, and I'm not just being positive stupid here, it seems to always happen. Politicians change, policies change. I still have enough faith in the American people that, they will say enough is enough, and those kind of things that they can affect will force change. We're going through so much turmoil in our country right now. It's kept people, it's been able to keep their eye on the prize, planning for their futures, which is retirement. So I want to say that I think people will get back to that once they see some positive things start to happen in our country. It's a train. It don't move real fast, but when it starts moving, that momentum keeps building, and I really foresee that in our future. I mean, we can't stay like we are for much longer, I don't think. I actually hope and pray that it won't stay that way. So as far as the 1.47 million that they talk about you need for a comfortable retirement, I find that number to be very inflated. Now, if you're the kind of person and you haven't done a good job of savings, you're probably going to be in for a rude awakening. And maybe you need that 1.47 million to sustain what you've been doing. You know, you can have a good retirement on a lot less money. Your retirement is what you make it out thing. The majority of retirees do not have that kind of money in their accounts. I hope they do, but I would dare say they don't. The truth of the matter is, just like always, is you need to save all you can when you can. So I know from experience going through life, sometimes you're able to save more, sometimes you need more money when you have things come up. So just save all you can when you can. That's the rule of thumb I'll leave you with. And the truth of it is that when retirement does come your way, you'll figure out a plan to live on what you've accumulated. Now, you may not want to live on that, but you really have no choice. You really get limited, and you can continue to try to live higher than your means. It always will catch up. And like I always say at the end, retirement is